Assalamu alaikum. In today's video, I'll be dealing with the logic behind one of the most powerful arguments for the truth of Islam, the prophecies of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'll be dealing with one of the most common contentions to this argument, namely that there is no time mentioned for almost all of the prophecies of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is a really interesting topic and quite an important one. But before I get into this topic, uh, if you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please like and share my videos. Years of debate, research, and effort have gone into this content, and this is actually different from most of the YouTube channels on Dawa. I mean, you can see that for yourself. The topics I cover are entirely different from what's commonly covered on other channels. Please support my YouTube channel, and as many of you know, I have a book coming out on Hadith reliability soon. Please buy that as well and support me. Now let's get started on this topic. So here's the background. One of the strongest proofs for the truth of Islam are the prophecies of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There are a lot of contentions made against the use of these prophecies as evidence for the truth of Islam. I will go through the two most common contentions against. I will go through one of the two most common contentions against the use of prophecies as evidence for the truth of Islam. So, the most common contention is that there is no time mentioned in regards to the prophecies, right? The Bedouin Arabs does not mention when this will happen. The interest rates one does not mention when this will happen. This is a very common contention, but this is actually quite worthless. Here's why. Conceivably, a prophecy can either be used as evidence for Islam based on the content of the prophecy, the timing of that prophecy, meaning it can be a mundane event, but its timing is really specific, which is what makes it an argument for Islam, or a combination of both timing and content. This contention insists that time is necessary. But why? Why can't we make an argument based on the content of the prophecy? This contention is based on nothing but a subjective value judgment regarding what should and should not classify as evidence, and hence this contention is worthless. There is a supporting argument given for the contention that time is required for prophecies. Here is the argument. Given a lot of time, anything can happen. So, because of this, time is necessary for prophecy to be proof for the truth of Islam. Now, this is an interesting point and it needs to be addressed, but it's actually quite worthless. The claim that given a lot of time anything can happen might seem intuitive to some people, but it is simply wrong. Uh, there are multiple reasons for that, but before I get into it, I need to address a point regarding the science in this regard. Some people seem to think that the future is infinite, and given enough infinite time, anything can happen, which is what justifies this contention. But this is not true, and our future on this earth, life on earth, our future is not infinite. The reason for this is that even on a naturalistic atheistic assumption, there will be a heat death in the future after which life simply cannot exist. So, the claim that given enough time or a lot of time anything can happen and basing it is on science is factually incorrect. There's another reason why this contention does not work against prophecies. Here's why. Most prophecies are dependent on circumstances and certain conditions. These conditions are not necessarily true and in fact can be easily wrong or never happen in most instances. If that's the case, most prophecies will never come true, and the claim that given a lot of time anything can happen in that case is simply false. I'll give some examples of this. For instance, the Bedouin Arabs prophecy is dependent on Bedouin Arabs being alive and not genocided. The prophecies such as those that mention the Mongol conquest are contingent on Mongols being alive and not genocided. Many people, many groups of people throughout history have gotten genocided, have died out, or assimilated into other groups. So it is not necessary or even close to necessary that these prophecies will always, these people will always be alive and these prophecies will inevitably get fulfilled. That's just not the case. Might happen, it might not happen. So this is first example showing that this contention is false. Moreover, there are prophecies such as the interest rates one, right? This is dependent on the use of massive economic systems structures like banks and the modern banking system. For almost all of human history, there were no economic systems like this. The contention is that given a lot of time, contention against prophecies is that given a lot of time, anything can happen. This contention is untenable because for the vast majority of human history, which clearly was a lot of time, there were no economic structures like what we have today. So, appealing to a lot of time does not refute the prophecies because it is not necessary that these things will happen. And in fact, for the vast majority of human history, nothing like this happened. Moreover, there's another problem with this contention, and it's a similar one to the previous one. There are many prophecies regarding technology in our hadiths. Mobile phones is an example of this. Mountains getting removed from their places and it's an example of this. There are many prophecies like this in our historical records, in our hadiths. For almost all of human history, there was no technology like ours, and the circumstances would not be there to have technology like ours. This is something most atheists will accept readily. Most kuffar will also accept this point. So, the claim that given enough time, anything can happen does not apply to these prophecies. It cannot apply because for the vast majority of human history, nothing like this happened. Moreover, this claim is untenable because for the vast majority of human history, according to atheists, according to many Christians, according to Murtads, etc., things stayed the same. They did not change. There was no technology for the vast majority of human history, right? So the claim that given enough time or given a lot of time, these things can develop. It's not true because there was a lot of time and nothing like this developed in most of the human history. So these are fundamental problems with this contention. There's an even bigger problem with this contention. The beliefs of the person who is making the prophecy are also relevant to deciding whether the particular prophecy is genuine or not. What do I mean by this? For instance, suppose someone in history makes a prophecy about aeroplanes. If that person could have known about aeroplanes, then the prophecy cannot be used as evidence because that person could have acquired the knowledge through natural means. But if that person who's making the prophecy could not possibly have known about aeroplanes and still makes an accurate prophecy regarding aeroplanes, then his prophecy can be regarded as genuine. Right? This is an obvious point, and I don't think this is controversial. If the person who's making the prophecy believes that there is infinite time and anything can happen, in that case, uh, they might be taken as believing anything can happen, anything is possible, and their prophecies can be taken as guesswork. It could be the case they are guesses. But if the person who is making the prophecy does not think there is infinite time and does not think that the world will last forever, their prophecies cannot be seen as guesswork predicated on the assumption that given enough time, anything can happen, because they do not believe anything can happen. Why is this relevant? There are multiple independent arguments for at least the sincerity of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? This is actually really easy to argue, and even many Orientalists who studied the Sirah, they also agreed with this. Even though they did not think he was a true Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but they agreed with his sincerity. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam really did believe the world was finite, and that if that's the case, the claim that anything can happen given infinite time does not work for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam because he did not believe there was infinite time, there was a finite amount of time. Because of all these reasons, there is no justification for the contention that given enough time anything can happen, and hence the contention against prophecies based on this claim is worthless. Inshallah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. This is a really important topic and something I've been thinking about for quite a long time. Please support me and my YouTube channel. If you can occasionally make donations, please do. That helps me out a lot. Please like my videos. Please share them with your friends. Again, think like the content I am making, the topics I am addressing, these are generally ignored by vast majority of the Muslims engaged in dawah. I have years of effort, hard work, research, and debates going into my content. And if you think that's like good to support me, and when my book comes out on Hadith reliability, kindly do buy that book and support my YouTube channel. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum.